desperately.
One of the crazy things is, and Joaquin Buckley tweeted about this, he said, Inshallah is crazy. Makhachev's like, thank God for this, now I get my double champ opportunity, inshallah. So he was literally praying for Belal's downfall, despite them being brothers, which is insane from Makhachev.
UFC legend Daniel Cormier has shut down all the rumors and narratives that were rising about Islam Makhachev after Joaquin Buckley's statement. Daniel Cormier has clearly said that Islam never prayed for his friend Belal loss at UFC 315. Well, things started after a tweet from Joaquin Buckley after UFC 315. Buckley called out Islam Makhachev for backing Jack Della Maddalena over Belal Muhammad, saying it was hypocritical. He pointed out that Makhachev supported JDM at UFC 315 because he had hopes of moving up in weight and becoming a two-division champion. Buckley shared his frustration, saying it's unfair to wish failure on someone you claim to be close to. Joaquin Buckley stated on X, "Crazy praying for your so-called brother's downfall." Joaquin Buckley also called out Islam for a fight in the welterweight division after he beat Belal. Buckley is not sure how much longer Belal Muhammad plans to stay in the welterweight division, but he wants to have Belal's name on his record. He explained that once he beats Belal, people will see him as a real threat, though some might view him as just a young fighter riding a win streak. Buckley made it clear that he sees himself as one of the best pound for pound and wants to prove there are levels to the fight game. He said he's always going to call himself the best in the world, but Belal is officially ranked #1 even ahead of John Jones, so he wants to test himself against that.
So I don't even know how long Belal really want to stay at 170, but I do want Belal on my resume too. And then once I beat Belal, you already know what time it is, right? Somebody gonna think it's a great opportunity because this young guy, he think he bought it. He think he on this win streak, you know, but I'm pound for pound. Come show me. Come show me his levels to really want to find out. Because I always gonna claim and I'm always gonna tell you I'm the world's best. But you actually got the number by your name. You #1. You over John Jones.
Welterweight fighter Joaquin Buckley believes he would be Islam Makhachev's toughest test and claims that Makhachev should face him next. Buckley sees himself as a nightmare matchup for the lightweight champion, pointing to weaknesses he's noticed in Makhachev's past performances and flaws he feels confident he could exploit. At the same time, Buckley said that Jack Della Maddalena has clear gaps in his game that Makhachev could take advantage of. He highlighted JDM's fight with Gilbert Burns as an example, noting that some of those issues have been present in earlier bouts as well.
The people that he has struggled with and the people that have shown a couple holes in his game, I'm gonna be his worst nightmare. Not JDM. JDM has a lot of holes that Islam can exploit. And we didn't see that with the Gilbert Burns fight. Actually, we didn't see it with several fights from JDM, right?
However, Daniel Cormier rejects Buckley's narratives and confidently says that he doesn't believe Islam Makhachev was hoping Belal Muhammad would lose just to benefit from it. He explained that based on what he knows about Makhachev, that kind of thinking doesn't match his character. Cormier also talked about Joaquin Buckley's recent behavior, saying that his bold actions like going after Ian Gary and now aiming at Makhachev seem to be his strategy to get attention and land big-name fights. According to Cormier, if Buckley manages to defeat Kamaru Usman, it will likely put him in a strong position, but if he doesn't stir things up enough, he might still get a high-level fight, just not one that involves a title.
Not for a championship.
Daniel Cormier said he understands what Buckley is trying to do. If Buckley can get someone like Makhachev or Jack Della Maddalena to notice him or even get annoyed by him, it puts Buckley in the spotlight. It helps people start talking about him, which increases his chances of getting the big fights he's looking for.
So I mind.
Moreover, Daniel Cormier was also very impressed with Jack Della Maddalena's performance, highlighting his sharp striking and strong takedown defense. Cormier said it was the best he's ever seen Jack look in the octagon. He stressed that when a fighter gets a title shot, they have to be more ready than ever, and in Jack's case, he fully lived up to the moment. Daniel Cormier further analyzed Belal Muhammad's performance and noted he didn't allow a takedown until the 4th round. While Cormier initially questioned Belal's decision to strike with Jack Della Maddalena, he later acknowledged that Jack's sharp stand-up may have left Belal with no other option. He highlighted how often Jack's right hand landed and said Belal's chin likely kept him from being finished. What stood out most to Cormier, besides the takedown defense, was Jack's relentless willingness to fight. Meanwhile, UFC legend Michael Bisping believes that despite losing at UFC 315, Belal Muhammad's stock has actually gone up. He said that while Belal didn't win the belt, his performance earned respect, and in a strange way, his value as a fighter has grown, even without becoming champion.
Yes, Belal lost the belt, but I think his stock, in a weird way, has risen higher, even though he's not a champion. Let me know what you think about that comment, because that sounds crazy, but I think in terms of general perception from the fans, they now have more respect for Belal Muhammad.
However, Henry Cejudo has a different opinion as he questioned Belal Muhammad's game plan after watching his fight. He mentioned that Belal had been confident about his striking and said he wouldn't shoot for takedowns or do certain things, but Cejudo felt that attitude backfired. He noted that Belal didn't attempt any takedowns in the first half of the fight, which was surprising. Cejudo also pointed out that there was a lack of leg kicks, despite both fighters being in range to land them. He wondered what Belal was thinking, as the strategy seemed flawed. Cejudo admitted he likes Belal, but felt it was risky to announce a game plan and then not follow through on it.
You know, it is going to be a little bit of humble pie for Belal Muhammad, because he was talking about, oh, you're going to see my hands like Canelo, I'm not going to shoot a takedown, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z, and turned around. That's ego, bro. That turned around and bit him in the, or should I say, bit him in the arse. And I truly do that. I truly do like Belal Muhammad, but man, it's not good when people start kind of giving the game plan, and if they're really gonna stick to it. I mean, there is no takedown attempts in the first half of the fight, like nothing. Like, I wonder what Belal was thinking. There was no kick into the legs. Like, they were in kick range, and neither one of them was actually kicking.
Henry Cejudo praised Jack Della Maddalena for his effective southpaw switch, jab, and ability to mix up strikes, which confused Belal Muhammad and kept him off balance. He also noted Jack's skill in changing levels throughout the fight. Cejudo then advised Belal to remember how he successfully used similar techniques in previous training and fights, encouraging him to bring those skills back to disrupt his opponents more effectively.
I thought JDM did a really good job switching to southpaw, peppering that jab, mixing high-low to the body to where he was able to catch Belal Muhammad and really confuse him. Of just the striking department and just mixing it and just level changing all through that. Now, that's something that you did very, very well, Kamaru, but I felt like you kind of came out of it. And I feel like if you can bring that back, kind of like, remember, and I've always told you this, but even when you and Israel Adesanya were like playing around and whatnot, dude, look at how your fake was able to make this dude sprawl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're able to mess with somebody's nervous system.
Henry Cejudo explained that Belal Muhammad seemed flat throughout the fight, while Jack Della Maddalena was on point with his head movement, jab, stance switches, and mixing up his attacks. Cejudo felt that Belal only won the 4th round, but overall the fight wasn't close. He agreed with the first judge's scorecard, stating that the fight wasn't as competitive as it may have seemed.
As of right now, man, Belal was just Belal was just flat, and obviously JDM was just on, man, from his head movement to his jab, from his switching stance, and from the high-low position, from really mixing his fighting, and he was able to get it. I had Belal, maybe Kamaru, win the 4th. That's it. That's the only round that I would say, okay, man, this round is Belal. The fight wasn't close, but I thought the first judge had it right, 49-46.
On the other hand, Kamaru Usman clarified that he's not happy about Belal Muhammad's loss. Despite what some fans may think, he explained that just because he and Belal weren't close friends doesn't mean he wanted to see him lose. Usman emphasized that he hadn't even fought Belal yet, so there was no reason for him to take satisfaction in the outcome.
People get so invested in this game to where they think that I'm supposed to be happy because he lost. Why would I be happy because he lost? I hadn't fought him yet. You know, it wasn't that, yes, me and him weren't on, like, we weren't the best of friends. I'll tell you that for sure. But That doesn't mean I'm happy that he lost.
Kamaru Usman made it clear he's not happy about Belal Muhammad's loss. He said he's not disappointed either, just indifferent. Usman explained that when a fighter loses, especially at the championship level, it's incredibly tough to bounce back. He acknowledged how hard it is to work toward a goal, step into the cage, and fall short. Usman emphasized that he would never celebrate someone's downfall or take joy in their loss.
So no, I'm not excited that he lost. I'm not disappointed. I'm indifferent. You know, absolutely, especially when a champion loses. I'm not excited about that because it's difficult to, after you lose, it's difficult to get back. It's difficult to work so hard to get in there, step in there and try to accomplish something and fall short. It's very difficult. So I'm not going to prey on anyone's downfall in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So no, absolutely not excited that he lost.
Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett also gave his reaction to JDM becoming the new champion. He also shared his thoughts on Jack Della Maddalena potentially becoming a welterweight champion, saying he believes JDM will fight Islam Makhachev next. He mentioned that it's still unclear who will end up fighting for the title in his division, but acknowledged that JDM deserved the win. Pimblett also called it the best fight he's seen in Belal Muhammad's career. While he praised JDM for showing he can handle takedowns, he pointed out that Islam is a different challenge, and it will be interesting to see how Islam's skills translate to the welterweight division.
I think Jack Della's won, and this is going to shake up my division in a big way. 3-2 or 4-1 for me, that. To Jack Della. There was a close round in there in 49-46. It's gotta be Jack Della. It's gotta be. And new, rank 5 coming in and taking the belt. He deserved that. Best fight I've watched the Belals ever. Della versus Islam. He showed he's got good takedown defense there, but Islam's a different beast, isn't he? So we'll have to see how his strength transfers up to welterweight. Main card, UFC probably won't be too happy with that, like 4 fights went to decision, but there was some good fights in there. The main event was better than I expected it was going to be, to be honest. Jack Della, new champ. He'll be fighting Islam next, I think. Let's see what happens in my division now. Who ends up fighting for the belt and who ends up getting the belt. Could have big implications for my career going forward.
Sean Brady also shared his thoughts on the possibility of Islam Makhachev fighting Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight title. He expressed that he'd prefer Islam Makhachev stay at lightweight and clear out the division, especially since he's fought Alexander Volkanovski twice. While he recognizes Islam's potential in welterweight, Brady noted there are still challenges at lightweight. He also raised concerns about Islam moving up without committing long-term, which could hold up both divisions. If Islam does move up, Brady feels a fight between him and Ian Gary makes sense.
How do you feel if in fact they go with Islam versus Jack next? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with Islam getting the title shot?
Sorry, someone's calling me. You still got me?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, I would rather see him stay where he's at, you know, and kind of clean out 155. The whole double champ thing is hard, especially when 2 of his fights were against Volkanovski, and then he does have Dustin Poirier, but there's still guys at 155. And then you have Ilya trying to come up. But then again, on the other hand, he's done so much. If he wants to move up, if he's going to move up, is he going to stay there though? Because if not, now you're holding up 2 divisions. So if he's going to move up, then me and Ian are fighting. Like I know, like that's the fight to make. And yeah, that's just the way I see it.
Sean Brady said he wasn't disappointed by Jack Della Maddalena becoming the new champion. He viewed it from 2 angles. If Belal Muhammad had won, there would have been a better chance of him getting a title shot, which he felt would be amazing.
When you were watching that and realized that Jack was going to become the new champion, were you disappointed? Did this make things a little more complicated for you?
No, because I seen it 2 ways. If Belal won, there's a better chance of me definitely getting the title shot, which would be amazing.
Secondly, Sean Brady acknowledged that if Jack Della Maddalena won, he knew he'd be fighting again, something he'd been expecting since the Leon Edwards fight. He wasn't bothered by it, and he mentioned that people seemed surprised when he said he was fine with fighting Ian Gary. Brady clarified that while he does want a title shot, there are still challenges in the division, including Shavkat Rakhmonov and Islam Makhachev potentially moving up. He added that with Kamaru Usman and Joaquin Buckley also eyeing title shots, everyone will need to fight it out. Brady felt that if he's as good as he believes, he might as well fight Ian now and get it over with.
But I knew if Jack won, that I'd be fighting again, which I've been saying since the Leon fight, which I'm fine with. And like you guys were just saying, me and Ian, you know, like I feel like people are very surprised I keep saying that. They're like, oh, why don't, like, you don't want the title shot? I'm like, of course I want the title shot, but there's still Shavkat there. There's Islam saying he's moving up. You have Kamaru and Buckley saying whoever wins that's getting a title shot. So we're all going to have to fight. I'm going to have to fight Ian Gary eventually. Why not just do it now and just get it out of the way if I'm as good as I think I am?
Sean Brady emphasized that he still holds the #1 ranking despite Jack Della Maddalena's win. He wasn't sure where Belal Muhammad would land in the rankings after his loss to Jack. He might move to 3rd or take Brady's spot, but for now, Brady still has the #1 position.
I still have that. I have that #1 next to my name. I don't know where Belal is going to move in the rankings because he lost to Jack. Maybe he'll go to 3. Maybe he'll take my spot, but for today, I still have the #1 next to my name, so yeah, I'm still the #1 contender.
So that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you liked it. The tension in the welterweight and lightweight divisions will keep on rising, as there are a lot of interesting matchups here after the possible move of Islam Makhachev. There is still no fight confirmed yet, and we will let you know when we get any official update, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notifications about our latest videos.